It starts right now. Takes me a minute to get up on the screen. I hope everybody is doing well today. I have a few things to talk about before we get started. First of all, bra straps, annoying. Second of all, look at my completed art project. I beaded all of the beads, all the pieces. Not a one is missing. I did a once over on it last night. Oh, wait, that's a lie. There's one missing. You have to fix. Okay. So, step one on my next project list is to get the fucking glue for this so that it doesn't ruin. But each one of those is a little, see the one that's missing? It's over here. Wait, it's over here. It's a number 7. Anyways, so the question is, so first of all, I don't often finish projects like that. I am notorious for buying crafting projects, but finishing them, no, not usually. This will be my second piece of diamond art that I have fully completed within a reasonable amount of time. Okay. So naturally, I already bought 2 more. See, this is where we get to the difficult part because part of what I end up liking is just the buying. But I did enjoy finishing that. I certainly did. It's got that a little bit of anticlimactic finish of a puzzle. You know, when it's just like coming to the end and you're just like, well, duh. Like, of course it was going to be over. But you're also quite satisfied with yourself. So, and it's like a puzzle, but it comes with like 1,000 extra pieces, which is very good for me. I don't operate well on like the 1-to-1 piece ratio. So here we go. These are the 2 choices I have for my next projects to do. This one's a tiger. Look at the tiger. Isn't that cool? I actually think that's really cool. And then this one is like a mandala, I guess. Flowers. So I have to pick which one I will do next. I'm gonna end up doing both of them, but which one I will do next. I know, they're super trippy. I mean, the green is being pulled out of the green screen, so that's sort of adding to the trippy effect. But if you look really close, you'll see those are all numbers and letters. And that's how you do it. It tells you where to put everything. So all the different, each one is a different symbol or letter. And that's what you put in. And this one too, like all of these are all different bits. And you do little bits at a time. Well, I don't know. I don't know why it's so satisfying to do them, but it is. But it's terrible for my posture. Um, I must figure out a way to have it up and work on it because yeah. Anyways, we'll think about that. Think about that, guys. I'm seeing a lot of tigers. I'll do both of them. The tiger's a bit bigger. Like that's a lot. Even the bottom is all color. I know. Although this one is all covered on this whole thing too. I think the elephant, starting with the elephant was probably the best idea. It was probably the easiest one. This one, and again, like this is done now, and I'm so proud. I'm gonna hang them up. Mm. I think what saved me, am I selling my artwork after? Maybe. I don't know if I can call this artwork, but um I guess it is almost like artwork. I don't know. Anyways, I will say that I want to get the glue for it, which I added to my Amazon wish list. I also added a little kit to hold all my little diamonds in them. We'll see. Also, oh, last thing, and then we'll get started on court. Okay, so we've talked many times about, hi, Chris. I hope you're doing well. We have talked many times on this channel about my addiction to buying journals, which I do all the time. I sort of do. I try not to, but I do. And over the years, journals don't work great. Some do, some don't, whatever. Anyways, oh, also look, I got glasses. Oh my God, got some glasses. Anyway, so the thing about this journal is that I have literally come to the end of it. Like I've actually filled it up. Never really happened before. I've never finished a journal before, it finished me, in other words. So, I went to think, oh, well, that means that this is a good journal for you. Why don't you go and get another one? But then I couldn't remember where I got it. And I looked it up and I see them on Amazon. But again, I'm just not a girl that waits very long for things. I'm more of like a go and pick it up kind of girly. But I did put them on the Amazon wish list because I did find them on there and I put them in all different colors. And I just feel like one day I will have all the colors of these notebooks and they're all like hand painted in the middle. Yeah, I can feel it. I'm putting them on there for a reminder for myself for the most part. But I want the purple one next. Professor KCC. That's right, Mikey. I'm a professor. I profess many things that are not true, I would say. I hope everybody is having a good day. There was a chase earlier today, if I'm not mistaken. Um, an early West Coast chase. Him, West Coast correspondent in the making. Listen, Moonfox, I have an addiction to new notebooks, and that's absolutely true. My daughter, we go to the store often, and one day we were going to visit different dollar stores for like to buy a few things for her. And because we were going like dollar store to dollar store, it became just overly obvious my little addiction to journals because it was an absolute repeat of the last fucking 20 minutes that we just had at the dollar store when we go to the other dollar store and she's like, "You don't need to look at the journals here." And I'm like, "Mm, that's probably true." But and then she's like, we just talked about this at the other store, Mom. You don't need any journals. You have like probably 100 different journals. And I'm like, yeah, but none of them are quite the right journal. I'm always on the lookout for the right journal. And nobody's ever impressed with that. But, anyways, this did work out very well, but it was expensive. It's like a $25 journal. And I don't recall spending that money on it, but obviously I did. I think it's the color, which is sort of being pulled out by the green screen, but I do like the color and the pliability. That's the main thing. I like need to be able to abuse the journal and still have it work. So apparently this is actually a sketch pad or a sketchbook, but for me it works out as a journal. Anyways, we have oh, see, like I took some notes in this last night and then I realized, oh my God, you're at the end of this fucking book. You're totally done. Um, so we have some Matthew Hagen, friend of the court show cause. Matthew Hagen is our resident surfer dude judge. Um, yeah, he's I always think he's dreaming of being on the surf wherever, like what he's planning his next trip. 11, 12, 13. So I guess 11 was first. All right. So I'm going to play this one. But did I download them in the right order? Oh, now I need to check. Hold on. Okay, I think we start with this one this one, and then we'll see how we do. Oh, office supplies. I have a weird addiction to supplies. It doesn't make sense.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year.
Here to you as well.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for the front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Mr. Johnson, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Matthias Johnson on behalf of Daniel Smith, who is also on the Zoom screen.
And Mr. Smith
Dan Smith.
and Ms. Smith.
Marie Carmen Smith.
Thank you. Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hope, front of the court. This is the matter of Marie Smith versus Dan Smith, file number 2022-16663-DM. The matter was originally scheduled for hearing on December 7th and was adjourned to today's date. As Mr. Smith requested court-appointed counsel, Mr. Johnson was assigned. Party's most recent order regarding child support is their consent judgment of divorce that requires $147 a month for 2 children. That judgment of divorce has been in place since October 17th, 2022. There have been 2 payments made on the case, a $200 payment in October of 2023 and a $10 payment in July of 2023. There's an outstanding balance of $2,516.50 of that.
Hold on. Did he just say a hold on. He said it did he say a $2 payment?
As Mr. Smith requested court-appointed counsel, Mr. Johnson was assigned. Party's most recent order regarding child support is their consent judgment of divorce that requires $147 a month for 2 children. That judgment of divorce has been in place since October 17th, 2022. There have been 2 payments made on the case, a $200 payment in October of 2023 and a $10 payment in July of 2023. There's an outstanding balance of $2,516.50. Of that $2,516.50, $2,436 is owed to the other party. I can pull the payment history up for the court's review.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, unfortunately, Mr. Smith is in very dire financial straits at the moment. He was operating a Christmas tree operation that actually lost money over the holiday season for the first time that's ever happened to him. Additionally, he's about 2 years behind in property taxes. Unfortunately, I just don't know where money is going to come from. What I've discussed with him, I think his frustration is that he feels as though he has the children more than 50% of the time right now, and thus support should be adjusted. If the court is willing to look at that on their own, we would certainly be asking the court to do so. I've also explained to Mr. Smith that that can also be done via filing a motion. His concern with that was the cost to file a motion. I have indicated to him that there are fee waivers for motions that can be procured, and it is something that can be done without hiring an attorney. Unfortunately, I don't think he's hiding any assets. I don't think there's gold buried in the backyard. I think he simply has the inability to pay at this time. I recognize the frustration that this causes upon the other party, not to mention the court in having to enforce this order. But at the end of the day, if there's nothing there, I don't know what we can order him to give. So that is Mr.
$147 a month is nothing to begin with for 2 children, so I'm really not quite sure what he's complaining about. How does he live? Where's his money? Get a job. I'm so perplexed. You had a failed Christmas tree business for the first time ever? Okay.
Mr. Smith's position at this time.
Well, he clearly has the ability to work, right?
Yes,
He-
I've
he-
been,
It's not an inability to work. You're claiming it's an inability to pay.
Correct. It's an inability or bad luck as it relates to generation of excess funds over the last year or so since this case came about.
Is he currently looking for work?
Dan, you can answer that question.
Yeah, you can ask him. I'm just asking you because you represent him.
I've got accounts, snowplow accounts, but there hasn't been any snow. And I'm obligated to these accounts, if there is snow. And if I don't, it puts me in another situation. And
Sir, are they going to put you in jail about the plowing? Because what he's saying is that he can't get another job because he has to wait in case it snows. Is that what he's saying? That just in case it snows and he has to go plow because he already made that commitment, I really can't go anywhere. The snow. I mean, is that a joke? Is he joking?
I don't know, this first time, I'm basically all by myself. And I don't have any other sources of income other than it's seasonal. And Christmas trees, the overhead, and I haven't even paid for all the Christmas trees yet. And I owe for property taxes. My house is going to be going up for sale for property taxes if I don't pay it. I'll lose my property. Right now, I've got, I took on all the bills and everything and loans and everything that we had. And right now I've got till Sunday to pay on some of these loans, and I don't have, unless some accounts receivable come in, I don't have the money right now.
Okay, if it's true that you've got the kids frequently, how are you able to support them if you don't have any money?
Their grandma and grandpa have helped me out a lot. They have supported me 100%. And if it wasn't for them, I'd be dead.
Other than the accounts receivable you have and waiting on snow, what's your plan to get through the winter? I mean, are you looking for other work?
Right now, I've got contracts for snow plowing, and then if I'm doing something else, these people that I'm obligated to, and well,
Are they gonna break his knees? What the fuck are these people gonna do? Who the hell is he plowing snow for? I found one last empty sheet in my notebook. I wish I could remember where I got this notebook here.
the last big snowfall we had, my one plow shorted out and it burned up all my wiring and under the hood, and from there, just to get that replaced was $1,400. And
We've
then,
got a really low bill here of $147 a month. So I need to figure out how you're gonna pay that, because it's for 2 kids, and I've had much bigger bills just this morning for 2 kids that I'm responsible for.
well, I spent,
It's not really an issue for me I can't change the order. That's the order that's in place. And it's
well,
not very
the only
high.
reason,
We gotta get something figured out.
the only reason I signed the order is because my lawyer at the time told me I needed to. And she closed her practice halfway through the divorce. And she didn't really care. She was just basically pushing me through the system. And they didn't account for all my expenses either.
That's not really what I'm here to figure out either. I'm trying to figure out how I can get $147 a month for 2 kids.
Right now, I've been taking care of the kids while she's working, and all through the summer. And
Because respectively, owing a little over 2,000, it's not that out of control. But when you compare it to a 147, it is, okay? It's a lot of non-payment. So I'm just trying to get you back on track. If
right
that
now,
makes sense. And if the story is, well, I'm gonna just wait around, then you could wait around in jail. It doesn't matter to me if you're not paying.
at this point,
What difference does it make?
if right now, I'm about ready to lose everything. It's been suggested that I go through bankruptcy, or go to Section 8. I don't know. I am trying to see if I can consolidate my credit cards. I'm paying over $2,000 interest every month in all my loans and credit cards and everything. And at this point, I don't know. And she's got her income plus her second boyfriend's income. Her first boyfriend.
All right, Ms. Smith, anything you'd like to add or say?
Well, I just have some ideas. He could scrap all of the scrap metal in his yard, and that
I've
would
already
clean up
done
the
that.
yard.
I've already done that, and
We're waiting on Ms. Smith. We've muted Mr. Smith. It's not an opportunity for the two of you to argue. I'm just trying to hear from everybody and figure out what's going on and see if we can get back on track. Anything you'd like to say, Ms. Smith?
Well, just that the grandma and grandpa he mentioned was my mom and dad. Like, yes, they watch the kids at his house. I guess I really don't know what else to say.
I mean, are the two of you in a position where where you are not operating the custody arrangement as ordered?
Oh, we're following the custody arrangement. We're doing the 50-50.
I am watching them more than 50-50.
Well, if that's true, the two of you will have to take care of that with your caseworker and file something if you're wanting to change it. I mean, obviously, if that's true, the court's not going to file its own motion. So we're not, because I don't know. You have to come to court and prove it if the two of you don't agree that that's what's happening. If you agree, you could file something, but I'm not going to take from what is said today and say, okay, well, we're just going to move this. We're just going to change things. Okay. That's just not the way these hearings work. So, sir, if that's true and you want to file a motion, you'll have to file a motion. Mr. Johnson's correct that you could request a fee waiver. It happens all the time. So you have other options if that's not how you're operating. Basically, this today is going to serve as a warning. Okay. We don't have to talk about jail. I mean, like I said, it doesn't make any difference to me if you're sitting in jail if we're not receiving payment, because it's the same amount of payment coming in. I mean, I want you to be able to spend time with your kids. Obviously, that's very important. So if you are, I'd rather you be at home, sir. But for child support, there's nothing I can do about the order. It's $147 a month. That's not that much compared to, I would say, 100% of the 8 or 9 hearings I've already had this morning, especially for 2 kids. So you're not in a spot to really say, well, it's too much. It's not very much. And the only reason I suspect why your arrears is so very high is because of your monthly obligation is so low. So I'll adjourn this out 60 days. I want to see payment paid current, meaning the 147 for at least 2 months. Maybe you'll start thinking about looking for a different job. But the thing is there's nothing I can do with one, sir. I'll just tell you, obviously, we've confirmed on the record you have the ability to work. So there's not really a reason why you're not. And that's where I'm trying to figure this out. And I'm trying to work with you, except you're just telling me what your plan is to wait around. And I can't, unfortunately, I can't do that. I have an order. I can't just wait around either. I have to enforce the orders as they are. And this was a consent judgment, so you did agree to it. You've had knowledge of it. So this is sort of a warning. If we're here in 60 days and we're doing the same exact thing, you're not leaving with me. You're not leaving me with many options. I will discharge Mr. Johnson from the case if Mr. Smith, if you wish to request an attorney to represent you at the next one, you'll need to make that request known either before or at that time. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Hogue.
I do. I just have one quick question, Mr. Johnson and or Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith just indicated on the record that he has over $2,000 a month in credit card obligations that he's paying. Well, how is he paying the over $2,000?
Well, I've already adjourned. I'm not asking them any more questions.
All right.
This is a warning for him. He knows that if he comes back and hasn't paid anything, he'll likely be in jail. So
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Hogue. Oh, he wanted to know what we all wanted to know. Is he allocating his funds in a different way or what? Let's see what else. It sounds like Judge Hagen shaved and is in a badass mood today. He ain't happy, folks. And this is unusual for him. He's not usually like that, but that is excessive. If your obligation is only $147 a month, maybe pay it.
The only other 1015 is Robert Tuck.
I also have one person that added late. I don't know who they are, so we'll have to check in with them at some point.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Oops, I didn't realize there was a receipt.
He needs a certification. I need a certification. I'll take any vacation. Anywhere. As I poke myself in the eye.
Okay, just give me a second to type that in too, please. All right, good morning. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Mr. Tuck, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Robert Tuck.
And Ms. McTeague.
Lorna McTeague.
Thank you. Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hogue, front of the court. This is the matter of Lorna McTeague versus Robert Tuck, file number 2021-16432-UN. A motion order show cause was served July 12th, 2023 for an August 10th hearing. It was adjourned twice to today's date. It was adjourned as a result of some payments coming in via income withholding order. This is an intergovernmental case. This is an order from the Commonwealth of Virginia from Fairfax County that was effective August 1st, 2005. That order required $258 a month in current support, as well as a $97 payment towards the arrearage. I would indicate that Mr. Tuck's payment history is poor, though we did receive income withholding order payments from July of 2023 through October of 2023. There's an outstanding balance of $69,744.33. Of that amount, $69,636.33 is owed to the Commonwealth of Virginia, which I assume passes that money on to Ms. McTeague when it is received. I can pull the payment history up for the court's review.
Thank you. So, Mr. Tuck, what's been going on?
Well, the last couple of years, I tore my rotator cuff and I lost my sister. So I just been dealing with something. And I moved to Arizona to help take care of my mom because she's been dealing with it. But I'll get a job here, and I hadn't filed my last 2-year income taxes because I was homeless for a little bit because of the torn rotator cuff. But I'll get back on track in this next month. So.
Where are you looking for work?
Arizona. I'm in Arizona.
Well, I'm not asking the state. Like, where have you applied? I want to make sure that you're actually looking for jobs.
So I've applied at quite a few call them mental health places. I've been in the mental health field for the last 8 years, and so I've been applying there. Tried a few grocery stores, and I've tried a couple of fast food places since I've.
Okay. Have you had any interviews or any contact with the employer?
Yeah, I actually got one this afternoon. It's for JP Morgan, and in the mailroom there.
Okay. That's good news. Okay. Mr. McTeague, anything you'd like to say? Ms. McTeague, anything you'd like to say? I'm sorry.
No, nothing.
All right. Well, I mean, I'd say obviously the biggest problem is the arrears. When did we receive the case, Mr. Hogue?
It was in 2021. It looks like we started keeping books for the parties in October of 2021. And there, like I indicated, we did have some payments coming right away via income withholding order towards the arrearage balance, and then again a couple of other times for short periods via income withholding. So there've been more months with payments than not. It's just that the balance is high, and I think there've been quite a few months of no payment as well.
Yeah, that's my concern. It's just, I guess, probably most unfortunate for the child or children, but unfortunate for us that we have the bulk of what to collect because we have had payments since we've had the case. So Mr. Tuck, anything you can pay in the next 14 days?
I literally haven't had any work. So I was working at a hospital when my payments were starting to come in steadily. But like I said, I tore my rotator cuff and muscle. So that's been almost a year, and I'm 55 years old. So it's been kind of hard to get that worked in. Everybody wants me to be able to pick up over 50 pounds, and I can't do that yet. But I do have a couple of interviews lined up with a couple of temp services, and like I said, there's JP Morgan, which is in the mailroom, which they're not requiring me but to lift for 35 pounds, and I didn't even tell them I got a messed up shoulder. So,
is that something you're going to be able to do? I mean, you don't want to set yourself up for failure.
Brother, I got to get some kind of money coming in. I'm not, I'm here trying to help out my mom, but I still have other things I have to do too, like this child support.
Okay.
So,
all right. So what I'll do is I'll adjourn it out 60 days and see where we're at. But I'm going to expect some money coming in. You have worked in the past, so that part's good. I can trust that you will again, but we got to get some steady money coming in. We're never going to collect $69,000. I don't know, but we got to have you pay steady payments so we don't have to keep having these hearings. Understood?
Yeah. So the 69. So my arrears was high when I found out about it. It had been like 10 years before I even knew I had a child support case. So that's what that was. It's not like that. You know what I mean? So
no, I understand. I'm just telling you. We for what I have to do to enforce this court order in our court, we just need to get you to pay steadily. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I just got here. I've only been here a couple of months, and the first month was just me trying to get my mother settled and everything. And
All
none of
right.
them
So
was
hopefully in 60
employed.
days, you'll have a job and we'll have another income withholding order in, okay?
Okay, sounds good to me.
Make sure you contact your caseworker and tell us where you're working. So that's what helps.
Okay,
Do you know who your
I can do
caseworker
that.
is?
No, I do not.
Mr. Tuck, your caseworker is Jessica Schimpf, SCHIMPF. But if
Hold on
you,
1 second.
once you start working again, all you have to do is contact our front desk and they'll either transfer you to Ms. Schimpf or take the information down directly. Do you know our phone number?
I think it's the one I called because I found out, I actually didn't even know that I had a court case. I was, my son told me about it.
Okay.
Like I said, I
Let
was
me give you
hungry
the,
for a little bit.
Mr. Tuck, let me
We'll
give you
get the
the,
number.
Just absolutely. His kid told him about the child support hearing. It's craziness. Uh, I am sensing an unemployed theme. Let's see what happens with the next part of these hearings. Once again, with referee Hagen, who looks like he's seen some shit and he's scared about it.
Okay, good morning. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. At this point, you're in the meeting room here because you're a payor. You've been ordered to show cause, and I want to advise you that you have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will appoint one to represent you. What we're going to do is everybody's in here now for the advice of rights, and then we're going to pull you in individually for your own individual case. If you'd like to have an attorney represent you, please just let me know at the top when I ask you to introduce yourself, and we'll have an attorney represent you. Ms. Sonia, you'd like to have an attorney?
Yes, please.
All right, we'll start with her case, and then that's all it takes. So just tell me that, then I'll go over some other findings on the record. But that's a good example of how the system works. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that you do have that right. And if you'd like to exercise that right, please let me know at the top of your case, okay? So we'll get started with your individual cases at this time, but that's your advice of rights for that purpose. Okay. Okay, so as I stated, this is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for a front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Ms. Sonia, please state your name for the record, please.
Stephanie Sonier.
And Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hogue, front of the court.
Thank you. And ma'am, you indicated when I was giving the advice of rights that you'd like to have an attorney represent you. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm going to grant that request. And what we'll do is we'll have an attorney appointed to represent you and reschedule your hearing. And do we have a good address and phone number for you? Because that person will be contacting you before your hearing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank
You're
you.
all set for today, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right, we can bounce back to Mr. Crow.
Okay, thank you. All right, it is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for a front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Mr. Crow, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Garrett Crowe, Crowe.
Thank you. And Mr. Hogue, I know we have two cases. Do we have either respondent?
In this matter, I believe we do not have either recipient.
Okay, so we can run through them both at the same time. Thank you.
All right. So the first matter is the matter of Casey Dazinski versus Garrett Crowe, file number 2003-2334 DP. Motion order show cause was served on Mr. Crowe December 1st, 2023. The most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's second order modifying their order for custody support and parenting time. There is nothing currently charging the child emancipated July 10th, 2021, but the most recent charge was $645 a month. The most recent payment at the time of preparation was a payment made in June of 2023 of $82.31. I would indicate that while the case was actively charging, Mr. Crow had a good payment history. Currently, there's an outstanding arrearage balance of $3,213.09 in this matter. Of that total amount, $3,066.09 is owed to Ms. Dzinski. In addition, Mr. Crow is here on the matter of Ashley Squires versus Garrett Crow, file number 2007-5130-DS. Motion order show cause was served on this matter also on December 1st. The most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the fourth order modifying the order for custody, support, and parenting time. This obligation remains charging, and it's $324 a month for the one minor child. Most recent payments made were also in June of 2023. $450.09 was paid in total in June of 2023. I would indicate that Mr. Crow's payment history was very good until November of 2020. Currently, however, there is an outstanding balance of $6,079.30. Of that total, $5,536.47 is owed to the other party, the remainder in fees and medical support to the state of Michigan. Happy to provide further payment history for the court's review.
Okay, so let's start with our 2007 case, the case that's currently pending, because I like to handle my arrearages or arrears only cases differently. So, Mr. Crow, what's been going on?
Well, Your Honor, I was gainfully employed. I was terminated from the sheriff's office up in Emmett County. A little bit later, I was arrested. I served 1 year in jail from 2022.
Sir, stop your sub story. Christy just donated a $10 super chat. Thank you, Christy. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Yeah. First things first. This guy, what is his story? Second, thank you. That happened quick. Why was that so quick? Thank you so much, Christy. Seriously. Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna try and give away some memberships today. We'll do it in a little bit when it gets a little bit busier. But also, what is this guy thinking about? They all have a story. You know what I mean? They always have a story, don't they?
Further payment history for the court's review.
Okay, so let's start with our 2007 case, the case that's currently pending, because I like to handle my arrearages or arrears only cases differently. So, Mr. Crow, what's been going on?
Well, Your Honor, I was gainfully employed. I was terminated from the sheriff's office up in Emmett County. A little bit later, I was arrested. I served 1 year in jail from 2022 into 2023. I did get behind. I was employed with after I was released from custody. I was employed with Full Mission Associates, and therefore was able to get back on track a little bit. I was terminated due to I was terminated from employment there. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I'm not making that as an excuse. I was having reactions with my medication. I've been having a hard time finding employment since then. I've been doing odd jobs on the side. This is very embarrassing to me. I don't like being behind and not being able to support. But however, financially, I'm having a very tough time. I'm having a tough time, affording propane, affording bills, even gas for my vehicle and food for my dog. So I agree. I'm totally behind, and it's a very embarrassing day. So I'm trying. With my history now, I'm having a hard time finding gainful employment. I've been doing a lot of construction side jobs, but it's not really paying off for me right now. So.
Okay, how can we get you back on track?
I've been looking for jobs online. I did apply for unemployment after termination. I was approved for 20 weeks of unemployment. However, the state is fighting me in that matter. I'm having a tough time getting through to people and getting answers there. So that, I mean, I don't know if unemployment would help, or if a portion of that would go to child support, which I assume it would. You know, the best I can do is just keep looking for work. You know, construction work in the winter is tough. You know, they're basically side jobs. I've been looking for other jobs, you know, normal, you know, 9 to 5 or whatever type jobs. And I'm just having a hard time right now getting back on track.
Where are you at in the unemployment case then? Is it in court?
Not yet. No, sir. Nope, not yet. The last contact I had with them was just prior to, I believe it was in November. I would have to double check. I'd have to double check my paperwork. They said that I was too late in calling Marvin. I'm not really familiar with that system, but you have to call in that you're looking for employment. And they said that I didn't, you know, meet the time frame, and I've been trying to get answers from the state, and it's proven very difficult.
When were you approved? I mean, I guess we need, I'm trying to figure out what stage of the process you're in, or whether there's ever gonna, you know, whether there's gonna be some money coming in, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I was approved, I believe in October, the end of October, early November. When I checked in with Marvin, the last letter I received was something to the effect of I didn't check in on time, I didn't meet the time frame, and they had stalled the process. I've been trying to call and get answers, but I'm kind of getting the runaround. So in the meantime, I've been doing odd side jobs, but that, like I said, that's barely been covering what's, you know, my bills, etc. So, I wish I could give you a definite answer in terms of when payment will be, you know, reinstated. I want to say by end of the month, but I don't want to. I can't promise that. I'm trying.
Okay. All right. Well, one thing I'm gonna do, it sounds like you're trying, and that's good. We don't have to talk about jail, but we've got to get a payment plan going. Okay. I've got to get you on a payment plan, which is going to come with a contempt finding, because it sounds like you can work. We're just not getting any money coming in. I don't know what's going on with the unemployment, but if you're, I don't know if you're just not following their rules too, but if you're already approved, there shouldn't be an issue. So, I'm not really, I guess I'm not either understanding or finding that maybe you're not reading that paperwork very carefully. I don't know, but
It could be.
I don't want you to be in jail, because that's not going to help anybody. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
but on that case, you're gonna have to pay as ordered. I'll order $25 towards arrears, so it's what's owed plus $25. Typically, I'll just tell you, I do $87, but I'm not trying to overburden you right now either. We just got to get you back on track. A $6,000 bill is pretty heavy. You understand that. You've acknowledged that. I
Yes,
just
Your
want
Honor.
to see you get back on track. I don't know if you're working with Michigan Works or anything, because I'm not going to get into what you were convicted of or whatever. But when I have other cases where people are looking for employment and a criminal history, sometimes prohibits certain things, or at least it inhibits things. Michigan Works can sort of direct you to places that will hire depending on your record. And we don't have to go into what it is, because I don't know, but I'm just trying to give you a resource
Thank you.
to look at. So if you fail to pay as ordered, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest, and you may have to serve up to 30 days in jail. I don't want you in jail. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense, but we got to get something going so that we're back on track, because I don't know that we want to be relying on unemployment either. It doesn't sound like you want to, but I don't know I can't figure out what's going on with that. So if that's the source that you can, derive it from, which you can derive income, so be it. But you got to get a hold of somebody or do something there. Now, that's the 2007 case. For the 2003 case, okay, let's talk about it in a different way. It's an arrears only case. So I'm comfortable not making a contempt finding and seeing if you can offer me something that you could pay per month, whatever. And keep in mind the payment plan I just put you on. Whatever you think you can budget from that, and if I think it's reasonable, we'll just accept it. You can pay that, and then we'll just keep you out of court that way. Because
Okay.
there's no,
And
it's not gonna, that balance isn't gonna keep growing. The other one
Correct.
is. You see what I'm saying?
yes, Your
You
Honor.
just, everything you pay on that one is just gonna whittle that balance down.
Sure. And just to clarify with with Miss Squire's case, the 25 in arrears, is that 25 per month? Is that what you're ordering?
Yeah,
Okay.
in addition to, that's on top of the 324.
On top of the 324? Okay.
Yeah, because usually,
Okay.
because we always have to have something that's, well, we don't always, but we usually have something going on with the arrears to get it whittled down, because otherwise, if you just pay the 324, you're gonna pay, you'll be current, you'll stay out of court likely, but your arrears won't go down. So I'm just trying to get a
Okay.
little bit on top of that. Like I
Okay.
said, usually I'll do $87, but if you
Okay.
can just, that 25, that'll do, that'll go towards it each time, and anything you pay over that will
Okay. And with Miss Dazinski's case, I mean, can I suggest $25 as well?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But that one, I want to do it this way. I'll do $25 a month on that one. But instead of dismissing it, I want to adjourn it out 180 days, Mr. Hogue, just to monitor for payment. If you're paying it, then we don't need to come back to court. But there's no bench warrant on that one or anything. I just want to make sure that you're paying on it, so that we're getting something coming in. Okay?
Just a
Mr. Hogue.
quick clarification, Your Honor, on the 2007 matter. So we've got the payment plan, the 2-year payment plan, and if he fails to abide by that, then a warrant could issue for his arrest. Is the bond amount $500?
I'll set bond at 500. Yep. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, Mr. Crow, if you fail to abide by that plan and a warrant were to issue for your arrest, you would have to pay $500 to get out of jail, and that $500 would go automatically toward your child support obligation. It's not a bond that the court keeps or anything like that. It goes towards the child support obligation, just so you know.
Understood.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You guys have a good day.
You too.
I think William Franklin next.
Thank you. All right. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for a front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Mr. Franklin, if you'd state your name for the record, please. And you're on mute, sir. Mr. Franklin, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
William Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hogue, friend of the court. This is the matter of Sarah Warner versus William Franklin, file number 2023-17347 UN. This is an intergovernmental matter, interstate matter, and the most recent order regarding child support is the parties' agreed uniform order of support from the Second Judicial Circuit in Richmond, Illinois. That order requires $250 per month in child support for one child. We've had this case.
Mr. Franklin?
Yeah.
You need to go somewhere where it's quiet, because we can hear people laughing in the background.
Well, yeah, that's because of where I'm at, and I can't go nowhere else because I don't have service. The only thing I have is Wi-Fi.
You can't. You have to be in a
No, I
crowd where
can't.
people are laughing.
Oh my God. The judge is like, he can't comprehend. He's literally looking at his screen and then just thinking like life choices. Like, how is this possibly somebody's life choices? Like, I'm a judge. Oh my God, I snorted. Because it's like he just clapped back at him about being quiet in court. Judge Kim would have just kicked him out. Been like, oh, look at you. You just fucking missed your fucking hearing, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
Somewhere where it's quiet because we can hear people laughing in the background.
Well, yeah, that's because of where I'm at, and I can't go nowhere else because I don't have service. The only thing I have is Wi-Fi.
You can't. You have to be in a
No, I
crowd where
can't.
people are laughing.
It, y'all wouldn't understand.
No, he did not. No, he fucking did not. Just say that. No, he did not. Y'all wouldn't understand? Sir. He can send you to jail. Oh my goodness.
You have to be in a
No, I
crowd where
can't.
people are laughing.
It, y'all wouldn't understand. It don't matter. It don't matter where I go. You're gonna hear people talking. I don't have service. I only have Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, let's try it this way. We'll put you on mute. If you could just listen, and then when it's your turn, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and then we'll hear from you. Okay?
All right. Yep.
You'll be able to unmute yourself at that time. Okay? So I'm just gonna put you on mute for now. All right, go ahead, Mr.
All right. So the matter came to our office and began charging in April of 2023. Since that $250 a month obligation began charging, we've not received any payments. There is a total arrearage balance that transferred over when we received the case of $14,714.05. Of that total amount, it looks to be that $14,668.55 is owed to the other state, Illinois, for child support that would be paid to the recipient, the other party in this case. So again, we've been charging since April of 2023, the $250 a month. When we received the case, it looks like the arrearage balance was $13,429.55, and it is now $14,714.05.
Okay, so Mr. Franklin, at this time, you'll be able to unmute, and then you can tell me what's going on and how we can get payments coming in. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Do up. I caught part of that and had to unmute it.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering so you heard we've got a 200, this is a case transfer from Illinois, 250 a month. We've had no payments since we received it in April, and we've got an arrears of 14,000. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
All right. Well, first off, I went to prison in 2013, and the whole time I was in prison, I was still being charged for child support when it should have been stopped, and it wasn't stopped. So the balance should not be as high as what it is, for one. And for two, they didn't stop it when I went back to prison the second time. They kept.
Rarely do you hear somebody so indignant about going to prison, not once, but 2 times, feeling like they are super justified and in the right. Sir, your kids didn't cease to exist while you were in prison. In fact, they were probably more expensive.
Charging me. And since, I don't know, September of last year, I've been homeless, dealing with addiction, whatnot, my own fault. I've had a couple of jobs. I can't really hold a job due to my temper and my mental state. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been homeless for the last year and living out of a vehicle. So any money I do make goes to me being able to survive. So, I mean, unless people want me to wind up dead on the side of the road, froze to death, I can make payments. But if somebody wants me dead, froze on the side of the road, well, then I'm gonna do what I have to do to survive.
Okay, well, nobody wants that. We're just trying to figure out how to get $250 a month. Are you working right now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find a job. I've got a couple, so I should know something with like in the next like 30, 45 days. Is when I should be able to receive like my first paycheck. Everywhere. I've filed for put applications in pretty much every auto mechanic shop. I'm certified in construction, certified in auto mechanics, certified in culinary arts. So yeah, I'm putting jobs in everywhere.
Okay, give me an example of the last place you applied to.
Mercedes-Benz, Sarah Toyota, Kia, Williams Chevrolet. I've put in a bunch of applications in at restaurants, construction companies, everywhere.
And you haven't heard anything
I'm
back?
just waiting to hear back. No, not yet. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Well, what can you pay anything in the next 14 days?
How much would you need in the next 14 days?
$100.
I'll make it work.
All right.
I'll make it work. I'll come up with $100 in 14 days.
All right. So here's the deal. That now, if you have an issue with the overall arrears, you're going to have to address that with the Illinois court. Do you understand that?
No, I understand, and I wasn't trying to be I wasn't trying to be an asshole about it, but I'm kind of irritated because Illinois didn't legally follow the proper steps in the whole process and whatnot. And then I've had multiple times, Sarah has gotten a hold of me when she was married to the guy she was married to last, and they were trying to get me to sign my rights off, and they were sending me paperwork, and that's the last I heard from her.
Okay. Well, what I have to address is the case that's been transferred to us since April. So let's try to get you back on track here. It sounds like
I can give you $100 in 14 days.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm going to expect that, but then I'll adjourn this out 60 days. But we can't. I can't have the same story in 60 days because if you're not paying, then it doesn't matter to me whether you're in jail or not. Okay. Because
it don't bother me if I'm in jail either.
Same amount of money coming if you're in jail or if you're not paying. So
well, yeah, but when you're incarcerated, payments are supposed to stop.
That's not for the amount of time you'd be spending here. It'd be about 30 days. So you'd just be in jail hanging out.
Yeah. No, I know.
So, I mean, it sounds like if it's true that you've got all those certifications, you shouldn't have any trouble finding a job. So I'm just checking back in with you in 60 days and hoping we're in a better spot. Understood?
Yes, sir.
I want the $100 in the next 14 days.
All right.
All right. We'll stand adjourned.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.
Amber Pinnell.
Yes, this is her.
1 second. Okay. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Ms. Sandra Pinnell, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Sandra Pinnell.
Thank you. Ms. Amber Pinnell, please state your name.
Amber Pinnell.
Thank you. Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hogue, friend of the court. This is the matter of Sandra Pinnell versus Amber Pinnell, file number 2019-14960UE. A motion in order to show cause was served on Amber Pinnell December 5th, 2023, and the most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's first order modifying their order for support that was entered in October of 2022. that requires $346 a month in child support and medical support. The last payments received were in August of 2023. Those payments totaled $485. Amber Pinnell's overall payment history has been fairly poor. There have been some periods of payments. There remains an outstanding balance of $19,136.50. Of that amount, $18,691 is due in child support. There are $300 in costs associated with the issuance of historical bench warrants, and the remainder of the total balance is in fees. I can provide the payment history for the court's review.
All right, thank you, Ms. Pinnell. Ms. Amber Pinnell, what's been going on?
Well, just within the last few months since August, my hours have been cut because season obviously has changed. And I've gone down to maybe like 1 to 2 days a week, but I'm slowly picking back up and getting more hours at the moment. So I expect to be making a payment probably within the next week or two.
What do you anticipate that payment being?
Probably, I mean, I know that the order is for like 380, but I know that I could probably do 200 no matter what. I'd like to meet the 380, but that's more so probably in the next month or two when we start getting busier and I have bigger paychecks, of course.
Where are you working?
I'm a supervisor. I clean Airbnbs downtown Traverse City.
Is that a place where we could get an income withholding order in?
Well, I'm an independent contractor. I'm not sure how that works with you
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Probably
I'm
not
not
then.
sure. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Sandra Pinnell, anything you'd like to add or say?
Yeah, I do have a issue. Back in the end of July or beginning of August, Amber won at the MGM casino $45,000. I just found out in December that she had been sending Amaya money through Cash App. I knew nothing about, to a total of $1,878. I got a child support payment the first week of August, and that's been it.
Oh my God. Oh, girl. Girl, does that coincide exactly with when you stopped working? When you hit that 45,000, did you just spend $45,000 in 6 months? Oh, I think she did. Okay. So she said, I'm an Airbnb cleaner. I have not been working, or they cut my hours down to 2 days a week, but I'm going back up. I've rewound it. We're going to listen to Mama talk here. So, Mama, who is in charge of the kid, obviously says, well, what's interesting is I found out that she sent her daughter $1,800 in cash apps. Plus, she got one child support payment, but girl hasn't been working and she won $45,000 at the casino. Here's the thing. In the States, y'all have to pay for taxes, right? In Canada, you don't pay taxes on lotto winnings. Oh, that 45 would be a full 45, free and clear.
Holding order in?
Well, I'm an independent contractor. I'm not sure how that works with you
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Probably
I'm
not
not
then.
sure. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Sandra Pinnell, anything you'd like to add or say?
Yeah, I do have a issue. Back in the end of July or beginning of August, Amber won at the MGM casino $45,000. I just found out in December that she had been sending Amaya money through Cash App. I knew nothing about, to a total of $1,878. I got a child support payment the first week of August, and that's been it.
Oh, okay, I didn't want to cut you off. Is that?
Yeah, I don't understand why I only got one child support payment when she won 45,000, sent 18,000 or $1,878 to Amaya through Cash App secretly I knew nothing about. And Amaya went through all the cash without me knowing it.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like we've got a steady job, so there's no reason to think you can't work. You're just not paying. I don't find any undue hardship on the record. So, ma'am, Ms. Amber Pennell, I'm going to find you in contempt. You're to pay what's ordered plus $87 per month. If you fail to do so, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest. You may have to serve up to 30 days in jail. I'm going to set bond at $600. And so if you just pay as ordered, there won't be a bench warrant, but it sounds like there's no reason why you can't be making the 346 and now it's going to be plus the 87 per month. So unless there's anything further, we'll stand adjourned. We need steady payments coming in.
So
Okay,
Miss
Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Pennell, I'd like to just clarify for you what your total obligation is going to be with your current charge plus the $87 a month. That is $433 a month is what would be expected to be paid. So Amber, what that actually means is on a regular basis, if you pay $100 on a weekly basis, that comes out to almost exactly $435 a month over the course of the year.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it down. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Sean Saborin. Do we have his co-parent?
No, we don't.
Okay, thank you. It is January 4th, 2024. This is date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Mr. Saborin, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Sean Sabrin.
Sabrin, thank you. Mr. Hogue.
Jeremy Hogue, front of the court. This is the matter of Melanie Witten versus Sean Sabrin, file number 2008-5754-DS. Motion order show cause was served on Mr. Sabrin December 5th, 2023. Most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's second order modifying the order for custody, support, and parenting time that was entered just in February of this year, February 1st, 2023, that requires $682 a month for two children, Bella and Emma. The overall history of payments in this matter has been very poor. There's an outstanding balance of $17,862.07. Of that total amount, $11,789.75 is owed to the other party. There's a significant outstanding birth and delivery expense owed to the state as well. The remainder in fees, as well as $200 in costs that were assessed for the issuance of historical bench warrants. The most recent payment we've had was in December of 2020. It was a non-voluntary payment of $1,149.49. I can pull the payment history up for the court's review.
Okay, sir. So what's been going on?
Sir, I've been out of prison just over a year now, and I'm honestly struggling to even pay my bills right now. Like and by no means is that an excuse, but I'm in great relationship with Miss Witten. I have a better relationship now than I've ever had with my kids, and she would attest to that. Does she need support? Yes, and I agree with her. I agree that I do owe support. I'm not trying to deny that at all. I can't even afford to live right now, giving her $600 a month. I couldn't even afford food at that point. I have another case as well. You know, like my caseworker, I sent him the pictures. I sent him the IEN number. He was supposed to get this stuff directly taken out of my checks.
Okay, well,
And
let's start there. Let's start there. Where are you working right now?
I work for North Shore Services.
Okay, and that's a place where we could get a income withholding order?
I mean, we could start taking it. Yeah. Like, I mean, here's the thing. how am I supposed to live? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to pay my bills when that's more than half the money, almost half the money I make?
Well, I don't know when the last time you had a child support review was. Have you contacted your caseworker to try to get a child support review or anything?
My caseworker said the amount was so high that he couldn't believe it, but that's what the calculation came to be.
Mr. Hogue, you raised your hand. When was the calculation? Do you know?
Yeah.
I
So the
believe-
calculation was done, statute required upon his release from incarceration that we schedule a review within 30 days of his release. And then his support obligation was going to start charging again the 90 days first of the month, 90 days following his release, which was the charging obligation began again.
April 1st.
Let's see. Yeah. April 1st, 2023. It was the obligation was ceased during his period of incarceration. The last income withholding order we have on file is for American Waste. The 682 is high. I don't disagree with that. It was based on
that's based on $20 an hour.
correct.
I only make 20 bucks an hour, you know?
Okay, sure. So let's just try to figure this out though. The most we can. I can't change the amount owed today. So let's not. I'm trying to manage expectations. What I'm trying to do is let's get us back on track. I mean, 682 sounds high to me. Okay, but I don't know. When did you receive any paperwork that said, "Hey, let us know what you make" and all these sorts of things? Because a lot of times people just fail to respond.
Yeah, I gave my employment information to my caseworker.
Okay, and that was that $420 an hour?
Yes.
Okay, so how would that be wrong then?
I'm just like, that's what I'm saying is like, how would I? So basically, you're telling me, or not? You're not telling me, but what my understanding is now, in order to pay child support, I'm gonna have to be homeless as well. You know what I mean? If I'm putting out more than I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I understand I'm behind, and that probably does play into the overall cost, right? But Miss Witten knows that price is too high. She's like, I don't understand why, you know what I mean? Like, we co-parent very well together.
Well, that's good.
I know she's not like.
So I understand I understand a lot of what you're saying, but so the amount owed is not going into what your income is or anything like that. The only part about that is obviously before prison you weren't really paying either. Okay.
No,
I mean,
no.
so we don't have a
before
history
prison.
of you paying child support. So I'm trying to work with you here on what's going on. Say where you're working again.
North Shore Services.
Do you still have the employer identification number, Mr. Sabrin? Because they're not in the database under North Shore Services.
I sent if you give me 1 second, I can look through. Can you text Julia? Actually, she has it. I might have it. 1 second, just 1 second.
Here's what we'll do.
Is
Sir, here's what we'll do.
it the employee state ID number?
It's okay. Here's what we'll ask you to do. I'll adjourn this out 60 days and give you time to submit that. And then see if you're working with your co-parent, the two of you could try to work out a child support issue. If you do work well. Now, if you don't work well and that, I can't erase the balance unless she says you can, but we can try to work with you on a different amount. It's just not something I can do today. But if we can get us your employer number and we have income withholding, or it's not going to take more than a certain percentage of what you make. It's not going to take all of it anyway. We're not allowed to, and that's not our plan.
I have the employer state ID number.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
33.
Okay. So, Mr. Sabrin, what the court is telling you is what the court is trying to tell you is if you and your co-parent work well together and you can submit some type of agreement indicating a different amount of support that is acceptable to both you and Ms. Witten, then we could honor that agreement and do a stipulated child support order. So that's just an option you've got, but that has to come from you and Ms. Witten.
Okay, now I also have another question because she's been willing to forgive me for my child support. Like she doesn't want me to go to jail. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is the best relationship I've had with my kids ever. She doesn't want anything bad for me. So she's willing to forgive me for not all of it, but she's willing to forgive me for some. She just doesn't know how to do that.
She just puts it in writing and submits it to us. If she was here, we could take her word for it, but
okay, yeah, she's booked at work right now.
No, that's okay. But you just have to ask her to submit a letter. That's all it takes is a letter, or I don't even know, would an email work, Mr. Hogue? I mean, we probably want some signature. Okay, whatever.
An email will work as well?
Yes.
Okay.
It needs to come from Ms. Witten.
Yes, yes. Now, is there my parole officer called me and told me I had a warrant out. Is there a warrant in this case?
Let me double check. No, there's not a warrant in this case.
Yeah, we're not issuing a warrant. We're trying to get you back on track here.
Okay.
There's no pending warrant right now. Now, if you would have failed to appear, I guess there might have been, but there.
Okay.
You've appeared, so I'm not issuing a warrant for you today at all.
Okay. Okay. My parole officer called me and said I had a warrant, and I was like, well, I have court on the 4th, so it doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I don't know.
the paperwork, I don't know what that would be, but the paperwork that we sent likely said if you fail to appear, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest.
Okay.
But I don't know, that doesn't go to a parole officer. But here's what I'd like to do. Make sure we got that number in. Let's try to get an income withholding order out. You can work with your co-parent on what to do in the future. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to adjourn this out 60 days and see where we're at. Okay.
Okay. And now within that 60 days, if Miss Witten and I come to an agreement and get an amount set, we'll be able to handle that within that 60 days or.
Yes.
Yeah, if you had it done today, it would go into effect. Yeah, I just want to adjourn it out 60 days to make sure that you're doing, what we've discussed. Because otherwise, if it's the same story, I don't really have many options. Okay.
Right. And now that he has this number, they're going to take it directly from my check. I don't have to do anything on my end as far as that happening.
Correct.
Other than monitor your paychecks to make sure it's coming out, because think about it this way: if nothing's coming out, and then you come back and you say, because people do this, is why I'm saying it. People will say, "Well, I thought it was coming out," when you're getting paychecks and it's clearly not coming out. So just make sure it is, because if it's not, you're still
behind
on the hook to pay it. You got to pay it some other way.
Okay.
All right, but there's time, I think, in there to at least make some steps towards trying to figure out what's going on here with both the arrears and with the monthly amount.
Okay.
Because I'm not hearing, here's the issue. I'm not hearing that there's really an error. It's just too much right now. So I'm trying to work with you on how we can keep you out of these hearings and out of jail, because if you are working, which obviously you are, there's 0 point in me having you sit in jail at all. Okay. Yeah, especially if you're spending time with your kids and doing all the good things, right? So keep you out of jail, but we got to have you do some steps on your end too. Okay.
Absolutely. And,
all right. Thank you,
I appreciate your help today.
Sure. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Thanks, Your Honor. I think the last matter is Mr. Kogelman.
Okay. Thanks. All right, good morning. It is January 4th, 2024. This is a date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support. Ms. Kogelman, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
I say anything for the record?
Oh, just 1 second, sir. It's just because of the Zoom boxes where you're positioned to me.
Say anything for the record. Anything. Did you want me to say anything for the record. Um, God, the judge is just having such a day today with all of these cases, people muted with sass, no class, bombastic attitudes. I feel for him. This is like everybody's sort of, you know, return back from vacation, and they're just like, I shaved, or I did my hair, or I did my makeup, and yet still your day shits on you in a way.
The left, Ms. Kogelman, if you, Ms. Jenna Kogelman, if you'd state your name for the record, please.
Jennifer Kogelman.
And then Mr. Christopher Kogelman, if you'd state your name, please.
Christopher Kogelman.
Thank you. Mr. Hoag.
Jeremy Hoag, front of the court. This is the matter of Jennifer Kogelman versus Christopher Kogelman, file number 2017-13737DM. Motion order show cause was served on Mr. Kogelman December 5th, 2023 for this show cause hearing. The party's most recent order regarding child support is their consent judgment of divorce that was entered in February of 2018. That requires $301 a month in child support. The most recent payments made were in June and August of this past summer. Both months, $500 was paid towards the obligation. I would indicate that Mr. Kogelman's overall payment history since the case began has been intermittent, with occasional lump sums paid. Currently, there
Occasional lump sums paid, like Chris. Thank you so much for your occasional lump sums. I so appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Seriously. I hope it comes up here shortly. But seriously, have a great weekend. Love you too. I know you have to work this weekend. But yeah, nice lump. I really appreciate that lump sum. Oh, you guys. Mayor. Hi, Mayor. How's the Corvette? Let me know when you're ready for me to pose on it. Um, Maria L, yeah, you gotta forget about the child support after 20K, right? Uh, this lady's hair part is a little bit like mine, which is to say, off to one side. Thank you, Chris.
is a total outstanding arrearage balance of $3,103 even. Of that amount, $2,956 is owed to Ms. Kogelman, the remainder in fees. I can provide the payment history for the court's review.
Okay, so Mr. Kogelman, what's been going on?
I'm an independent contractor, and my work the last 3 months is pretty much dried up, and I've been having a hard time. And I was promised jobs that fell through, and therefore I was like, it's hard for me to go get a new job, regular job, because I kept thinking more jobs would come. But since then, I've applied to the post office and I got almost a perfect score, so I'm hoping I'm going to get that. But I do have some jobs coming up that'll get me through, but I've just been having a hard time.
Okay, so you currently have an application in at the post office, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I got 98 out of 100 on the exam, so I'm hoping I'm going to do well with that.
Yeah, when do you hope to hear back from them, and as far as, you know, the landing the job or whatever?
The judge is so savage in his own way. He you'd never pick up on it unless you watch court like we do. When he says, when do you hope to hear about that? That is just like him stabbing you in the heart with a knife. Okay? That is the literal, he's being sassy. This is him being sassy. Tell you that right now. And who cares if you got the high of a score? You know what? I got an amazing score on this test that I did to become a 911 operator. I still didn't get the job because there's always politics involved. There's always problems. So it's not always your own fault.
I know people that have worked at the post office, and it takes like 5 to 6 weeks to go through the process, but I actually have another job, which I hope starts next week, which is like an $8,000 contract. So like that will get me through. It's just, I've been waiting on this for like 6 weeks.
Okay,
So
sure.
I do
but
flooring.
Okay, but what's I asked about the post office. When do you plan to hear back from them?
I don't know. I mean, I literally just applied for this job 3 days ago, and then I took the civil service exam and scored almost perfect. And it's going to take, I said, 5 to 7 days before I hear anything back.
Okay, that's what I was asking. All right.
Keep in mind, this gentleman scored almost perfect on the civil service exam, but yet very difficult to understand these basic instructions coming at him in this administrative type hearing.
Ms. Kogelman, anything you'd like to say or add?
I am having a hard time. My child is 16. We had to get him a car. I'm paying the car insurance. I went out and got a second job. So I don't understand why Chris can't even just get one job. It's been tough. Chris doesn't help with any support for anything extra on top of the child support. And yeah, and I don't know how to make him, he doesn't have a job. And the issue is he's got to get some work. And I don't know what to do to get him to get some work.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what I'm going to do, sir, is it sounds like you're looking for work or trying to find work, so there's no reason for me to talk about jail today. I'm comfortable with that. But the other part of what I'm hearing is that you do have the ability to pay and you're not paying, and there's no undue hardship here. So I'm going to put you on the payment plan. You do have the ability.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on a payment plan, so you'll have to pay $300 on what's ordered plus $87 a month. That's with a contempt finding. If you fail to do so, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest, and you may have to serve up to 30 days in jail. I'll set bond at $500. I don't want you in jail. All this means, sir, is that you have to pay as you're already ordered to do. So if you comply with what the court order says, you're good. But if we can't land the job or are having trouble, continued trouble, then you'll have to figure that out. But this is supposed to be meant as an incentive for you to get it done. But like I said, I don't want you in jail, and you won't be there unless you fail to pay. All right, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you all.
I have at least 30 days. Excuse me, Your Honor, or
yeah, the payment.
I have at least 30 days to make that next payment.
Fine. The payment plan will start February 1st, not January 1st. I'm willing to do that.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Typically, it would start right now, but I'm okay. I'm comfortable giving you a grace period, sir, but you got to get serious about getting payments coming in.
Well, I understand. I'm not trying to be deadbeat. I mean, my dad helps us out. My dad just paid my son's car insurance. Like I do reach out for help, so I'm not deadbeat. We do have means of like helping things out.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not a deadbeat. My dad paid for the kids' insurance, and she was not having any of that. Did you see that? She was not into that at all. Wow. Yeah, your dad is not a deadbeat. It sounds like you sort of are a little bit of a deadbeat. I mean, at least the other lady sent her kids some money when she won $45,000. I have to give her that. If she didn't do it appropriately, she at least did it. Again, not the best way to do it, but I think that mom in that last case wanted jail there, and that wasn't happening right away, but that guy's attitude is shit. Anyways, you guys, Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening and watching court. I know we're done a bit early, but I have a few things that I need to get done. And I will be back with you tomorrow. Lisa made a suggestion for Saturday that I will think about. Let's all pray for a chase. Why don't we pray for a chase? They're literally yelling about grilled cheese. Anyways, pray for a chase. Remember that I love you. I'm proud of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, go and comment on the videos so that I know you are here. Love you guys. Bye.